everyone, and good evening. Welcome to Adam's TV Podcast. Today, we're talking some Big Brother 20. I'm your host, Adam Samuel, and we couldn't manage to get Grover Johnson to join us for this episode, but we do have my good guy, Jason. How you doing, Jason?
Grover Johnson? Grover Johnson? I'm so damn over that promo. I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Jason. I'm over that promo. I'm going to need CBS to calm it down with that. It's after every episode. It's during the episodes. We get it. Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield. I don't know the name of the show, but I know one thing. Ain't nobody going to be watching it. I can promise you of that. No one will watch that show. I promise you. And I don't even have anything against the show itself, considering I haven't seen it because the premiere's not till like September or something like that. But I promise you, with how much they're plugging that shit, ain't nobody going to watch it. I promise you of that. So, good evening. Welcome to the podcast. I think we can just cut it now. I think that we can go ahead and end the episode now. My Twitter handle... no, but... Yeah, I'm about over that one. I'm over a lot of things.
Jason, I just want to start this podcast. I have one question that I'm dying to know the answer from you. Okay. Are you ready for the potential second coming of Rockstar on Big Brother 20?
Yes. Okay. That is who I am rooting for because the jury buyback is coming. I don't care who gets evicted next week. Listen, before we start this shindig, my last hope for this season, his name is Haley Broucher, Haley girl. I need her to do well. I don't care if she gets evicted next week because my pick to come back will be Angie Rockstar Lantry. Okay, know that. Run that.
We haven't had a chance to podcast about Big Brother in a while, so before we get on to this current week, I do just want to do like a moment talking about the previous 2 weeks. So we in the past 2 weeks we lost Bailey and we lost Rockstar. And Jason, what do you kind of make of those two results?
All right, we'll do a quick little blurb about those. Bailey, I think that unfortunately she did that to herself. I was sad to see her go. She is one of my favorites, and she was the first person I lost from my draft. Unfortunately, I lost my second tonight. But anyway, so I was sad to see her go. You know, if she came back, I would not be mad at it. I do love me some Bailey. I love Bailey. I was sad. Oh, and the whole fight with her and Tyler. Oh, listen, y'all. I've had a busy 2 weeks. Okay, I saw Taylor Swift two times. I've been working. I started school. I'm doing Beyonce this weekend. I've had a lot going on, so I haven't been here. But that fight with Bailey and Tyler, when I tell y'all that gave me everything I needed from this season, okay? Listen, that just... And then Rockstar's eviction... Watching last week was literally the most infuriating thing because of the hacker twist. I was over. See, I knew this was going to happen. I was so excited when Haley won. I was like, yes, queen, go get it, boo. Yes, ma'am. But then when that Casey girl won it. Oh. No, that ain't it. No, we need to cancel this twist right now. I knew that was going to happen too. I knew it. And you know what? That girl could not make a big move. If she wanted to make a big move, she should have put Scotty up on the block. She should have put Haley Fessy on the block. Somebody. But Rockstar hasn't won a single thing. Oh. And then we get to the veto competition and Rockstar hands Tyler that competition. When I tell y'all that was the most infuriating big week of Big Brother I have ever watched up until this one. Oh. So then we get to this week. And I think we're ready to just discuss the cluster, you know what, that this week was. Oh.
Jason, every week after every week I kept saying to myself, it can't top what happened. It can't. And it just... Every single week of this show, like
you know what? I think I have reached a conclusion that this Fessel character has to be one of the dumbest people to have ever played this game. I have reached that conclusion, and I think that's a fair assumption.
Yes, we are going to go through the main week. We're going to be going through everything that happened this week, both on the feeds and in the episodes. We are going to touch on some things that happened in the 2 weeks we didn't get to as they kind of come up. We're going to go through it all. So let's kind of start where the week kind of began. So we started with this the classic Big Brother competition where it's you take the little cylinder, walk it across this I think there's like Crisco or something on the floor. Do you know what that stuff is?
I think Vegas said it was Crisco.
Yeah, you run across this this like short path, drop it into like this tube, and eventually like a little ping pong ball comes out, and that earns you the winner. This would not be my comp, Jason. Would it be yours?
No. I would come out of that comp looking like a grape because I would be so purple from all them bruises. No, that would not be my competition. No, I would take something else, please. Something else. We need a different competition.
I would have lost that competition and my dignity.
And did you notice that they were having to put their finger on the bottom of the cup because I guess it was like a funnel and it was just leaking out the cup? And whenever they did the little aerial shots, because you know how they'll show like all the lanes, did you notice that all the house guest lanes were like completely white except for Tyler? Because I guess Tyler just kept dropping his liquid. But his lane just looked completely yellow. It looked like he done dropped some butter on that lane because I don't know why he couldn't keep it together. But
I'm of the opinion that the correct strategy to do this is to take one round where you like belly flop and like just go with your hands outstretched and just kind of wipe all the Crisco like to the other side. I don't know if that would be that effective, but maybe it would make it a little bit easier. Do you kind of think?
Listen, if I did that, I wouldn't be able to get back up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real honest with you. If I go down once, I ain't getting back up.
I don't know, but
no,
pretty quick competition. I believe it was.
Yes. This is some tea because Vegas was saying that CBS was pissed off at how quick that competition ended. Did you see that?
Rightfully so. It was over in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I believe it was because usually like the length of the path is usually like twice as long and they kind of cut it shorter. Don't really know why. I think it was because maybe I was hearing something about like the test practicers were taking a bit too long and they kind of wanted to make it go quicker and they kind of underestimated what they were doing.
I know last season they made this into a veto. So it was only 6 of them that played it. So maybe it was because they had 8 playing this time.
I think who won that? I think it was Corey won it in 18.
Corey won it in 18.
Jason, I think, won.
Jason won it last season.
Yeah. But anyway, we get back to the competition, and we have a winner. It is Fessy.
Which is what we wanted. We wanted that to happen before the competition. Everyone online was saying that whole day, like, we need Fessy to win this to keep Haley safe because, everybody thought she was going to get put up because, of the whole hacker thing. So everybody wanted Fessy to win, and then he won, and it was a great moment. But what it turned into... Oh.
And the highlight of this is that we are coming off of a blind side. There was... this is something we didn't get to touch on, but an alliance was formed called The Hive with... Bailey, Scotty, Fessy, Haley, and Angie Rockstar. And it kind of took a hit when Bailey was evicted, and then all of a sudden Rockstar is evicted. There are 3 Hive members left going into this week. They've just been blindsided. They know they are basically back. Their back is up against the wall. And Fessy wins. This is basically there's the 3 of them. There's 4 of level 6 remaining, and there are 2 people kind of in the middle. This is the round where it's going to get evened out. This is when I saw the results, I said, all right, we're losing either Angela, Tyler, Casey, or Brett. One of them is going home.
Which is what should have happened.
And I guess that kind of brings us to the next thing we should touch on, which we kind of didn't get to in the previous weeks. Brett is a member of level 6/level 4, but in these past 2 weeks, he kind of managed, it all started with this veto competition. And Tyler, he won a punishment and he traded it with Brett, so that he got the punishment and Tyler got the reward. So Brett kind of took that to pretend that he was done with level 6, and he kind of meandered his way into like the middle a little bit. And now Haley, I believe, imagined that she had scooped him up. Is that a correct assessment, Jason?
I think so, because he definitely was kind of trying to get in there.
Yeah, pretty impressive playing though from Brett. I mean, to manage to pull this off, because this is going to be an integral factor in this week that results in level 6 continuing for another week, I believe. And this is just a testament to his game. I feel like I haven't been the highest on Brett, but I can't deny that this has been paying off for him, right?
I mean, I give credit where it's due, but I still want his ass to go home.
So
next question, please.
So Fessy's HOH, and immediately the remaining Hive members of Haley and Scotty, they start celebrating with him on the floor. This is the best. This is the best thing. Finally, things are going to be coming up good for them. It's finally we're gonna get the sides. This is going to be the second coming of season 6, where we're finally going to trade power back and forth all the way until the end. And right after the competition, it seems like things are going to go that way. Fessy, he says his nominations straight away, Tyler and Brett. These would have been better nominations for his side, right, Jason?
If that had happened, we would have stand Fessy until the end of this game. I would have been Team Fessy. Me and Fessy, we would have been like this. We would have been good. That would have been fantastic. I would have loved this week if that had been the case, but it was not.
Hypothetically, had those been the nominees and Brett wins the veto, and then hypothetically, let's say Casey's on the block, Tyler goes home. Am I right?
Unless Angela just does... Well, okay. So Tyler is definitely going to have Haley voting to evict him.
Yes.
And I would assume...
Scotty?
He has... Scotty would have voted to evict Tyler. I would assume he'd have Angela as well, because she's so close to Casey. So it would really just be kind of up to, I guess, JC. And I'm sorry, the rest are not coming to me at this moment.
Sam.
But, yeah, JC, Sam, and Brett.
Yep. So those are his preliminary idea for noms, but they change due to one person who I am, every single week that passes, I'm growing continuously more and more impressed about. And this, I believe, was that person's moment in the spotlight. So Fessy has this idea, and one person, JC, is like, no, that's not what's going to happen. And he goes to work. Like, there was this moment where he says, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm very close with Fessy. I'm going to manage to convince him to put Scotty on the block. And he says this to Brett. He says, Brett, there was one vote to keep Rockstar. You need to pretend to be that one vote. And Brett's like, there's no way he's going to believe me. Like, they're clearly probably catching on that I was lying about the whole playing in the middle. But JC says to him, he says, listen, if anything happens, you need to just go all out and admit and pretend that you were that one vote. And this all eventually culminates in a pseudo house meeting in the HOH room. And Jason, can you explain what happened in the HOH room? Because it's a little bit nuts.
Basically, Fessy, the new HOH, asks everybody, all right, who voted to evict Rockstar? Or no, who voted to keep Rockstar, excuse me. And immediately, Scotty, the person that actually did it, just raises his hand. He's like, yes, it was me. I voted to keep Rockstar. So I guess Brett sits there and thinks about it for a minute. And he's just like, nope, no, you didn't. Nope, it was me. And Scotty, instead of defending himself, he's like, okay, all right, cute, okay. If you don't, I'm not understanding this concept. Why he didn't just get up and be like, I don't know why you're lying right now, but it's not going to work. Like, if he had just defended himself, I feel like he could really have avoided a lot of this, the you know what storm that came to him this week. But instead, he was just like, okay.
The thing
he
is,
just laid down and died. Like, Tiffany, we were all rooting for you. I was rooting for you. No.
The thing is, all right, everyone in the house, except for Brett and Scotty, know 100% who's lying and telling the truth. Scotty 100% knows that Brett is straight up, bold-faced lying. And he doesn't defend himself. Like, if you're caught in a lie, Like, if someone's being accused of something, like, if you're in the wrong, you kind of want to like go out and say like, no, this is what happened. But Scotty, he kind of just like folded and took it
and died, and it makes no sense to me. I don't understand his logic there.
And the craziest part is JC's crazy plan actually worked, and Fessy decides, you know what? I believe Brett. I think Scotty's been playing us. He's been the one throwing the hinky votes and messing up our results every week. He's going to be my target.
Which JC, who literally, by the way, thinks he's fucking Raven Baxter from That's So Raven, Scotty is working with you. Scotty is in your alliance. Scotty had no reason to vote to evict her. I'm not. He is so stupid to just. I'm not understanding why every single week with this boy, he's always just questioning who is flipping on him. He doesn't see what is clearly in front of his face. Haley literally is having to explain to him, like, yes, the three of them are in an alliance. It's mind-boggling to me. It makes no sense.
I just want to say, like, people might not agree with me, but this might have been my favorite week of the entire season.
Yeah, I don't agree with you on that. I'm gonna be
because this is just the second coming of like Big Brother 6 with Howie and Maggie and oh my god, I forgot James the Veto King. Like this is
my favorite week was Scotty's HOH.
Oh, what was my besides for this one, maybe Sam's, just because of the whole thing, just for that moment with Caitlyn failing that puzzle. Because
I'm triggered. I'm sorry. Can we take a break? We'll be back. Thank you.
I mean, all right. Let's keep it going. We'll keep it going. So, the nominees. He somehow JC manages to like mindfuck Fessy to entirely change his nominees from Brett and Tyler to Brett and Scotty, which brings us to the next point I kind of want to touch on, because Fessy is in a showmance involved. I'm not really quite sure what the status is with this girl who you might know, Jason, Haley. And Haley has been hanging around a little bit with Scotty and Brett. And what do you know? Those are his nominees. Do you find anything interesting about that?
Well, Fessel is a moron. Just like we were told by Mr. Zingbot, Fessel's a moron. He should have put up Tyler. I'm not understanding why. You did not put up the person who you know is literally going after your closest ally in the house. Yeah, no. This is about the dumbest move he could have made. Just so stupid. So stupid.
Not only does he not put up Tyler, he actually pulls Tyler and Angela into a room and he makes an alliance with them, a final four.
He has to understand that is not going to hold any weight. That dog is not going to hunt. I'm not understanding that concept, but you know what? We'll move on, because it just gets worse from here.
Jason, if Fessy had been making the right moves, what, in your opinion, would have been the smartest nominations for him?
We're going to go ahead and put up Brett and Tyler. Whichever one of y'all does not come down is going to go home. Point blank, end of period. Case closed. HOH was a success. It doesn't matter who goes home at the two of y'all. That's like the only move that should have been made. Or like if he didn't want to put up the both of them, put up Angela. I don't know, put up one of them with Angela, and then if one of them comes down, the other one goes up. Like, it's just it. I am not understanding this concept. I'm not understanding this concept.
I'm still not understanding the fact that I've still managed to have my top two draft picks.
I am not understanding this concept.
All right, so those are the nominees, and I guess that kind of leads us into a little bit into the veto competition. It is the hide and go veto comp, which I don't even know. What do you make of this competition as a whole, Jason? And in your opinion, what would your strategy be?
Let me tell y'all something. Okay, first of all, I would win, but I digress. If I were in that house, I would throw a temper tantrum when I heard that this was the competition, because let me tell you something. They are all just running around that house trying to find these damn veto cards. They are just running, carrying on, doing this and that, tearing things up, everything. And then you get in the house, and I don't know who they think is going to clean this up, but it is not Jason Brown. It will not be me. I can promise you that. I will be going upstairs, sitting in the HOH room until it is clean. And if I am not playing in that competition, I am not cleaning it up. I can promise you of that right now.
Jason,
I would hate this competition.
How would you react if we had James from season 17 and 19 who just goes into the fridge, takes the eggs, and just goes, ah!
When Scotty poured milk on the ground and they poured the flour on the... No. And you know what? James was the worst person to play that competition because he intentionally messed up the house. He just intentionally made it as messy as he possibly could. No, I would have been evicted that week. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I'm ever going in that house and they put that competition on me, I'm going home that week. That's the week I know I'm getting evicted, because those people will be getting cussed out for how messy they made that house. They will be getting a good cuss out. Where
would you, if you were in the house, hide your veto card? What do you think is the ideal good hiding spot? Because honestly, I thought Scotty had the best hiding spot of the batch.
I don't know. I probably would have put it in like a lighting fixture, or possibly. You know what? I would have hid it in. You know how they had that barrier of bushes at the door when you first walk in?
Ooh.
I would have hid it in one of those bushes.
I don't know if they would let you. Would they let you? I don't know if they would let you.
If they let me, if that's where it's going.
That actually, not a terrible idea. I actually,
you know what? I'm gonna say that, but when I get in that house, you never know who could be watching this. Never know.
It's a good idea. One thing that was featured in the competition is Brett. He takes his veto and veto card and he puts it in the have not room, and instead of searching during his time, he just keeps throwing stuff there so that it'll be impossible.
Which is so smart. I literally would do that. I would go. I wouldn't even use my turns to go and find the things. I would just check and see if mine's still there, and then just throw more stuff on top of it.
That's kind of the go-to strategy. I feel like that's a pretty smart way to handle it. He just blocks the door and keeps shoving stuff. Like, it would have taken 3 people to come in and out and fully take that whole 3 turns. I don't know, but it pays off for him because he is the veto winner. What did you think about him winning?
Horrible moment, awful moment. Did not like it. Wish that he had not won.
So he is the veto winner. He's obviously going to be taking him off the block. So Vessi's going to need a replacement nominee, and there's kind of 3 names that are being thrown around at this point. There is Haley, which we'll talk on in a second. Sam, who I think we're going to be talking about first of these 3, and Casey. And let's talk a little bit about Sam, because we haven't had a chance to touch on this these past 2 weeks. But Sam is losing it a little bit, right, Jason?
Yes. Oh, she's been lost it.
Yeah. I don't even know what's really going on. She seems like someone who is just too genuine of a kind and normal person, that the backstabbing nature of the house is just starting to get to her. And I'll be honest, I don't like that she's in the house, but I do also kind of really feel bad for her. What do you make of her situation, Jason?
I think she's going to be in the final 3.
I don't think she's just going to be in the final 3. I think she's probably going to be in the final 2.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Because
it wouldn't surprise me.
She has goat written all over her, but
who's going to target her? Who's going to put her up at this point? Maybe Haley. If Haley gets HOH, maybe she'll do it. But I just don't see her going home at this point.
Someone mentioned this online that can you imagine a final three scenario of Tyler, Casey, and Sam, and Casey wins the final HOH and gets like a sense of self-preservation, cuts Tyler and moves to the final two with Sam, where she probably wins.
or Tyler or no, Casey, JC, Sam. Could you imagine? That would be like the most hodgepodge final three you could possibly have this season. Ain't nobody would have expected that. But you know what? I kind of hope it is that way because that'd be 2 out of my 3 in the draft. I know one of my drafts going to final 2, so.
If I could say anything about this season, it is everything but expected. Like everything is just... It just keeps getting nuts, and I'm actually getting an update on Twitter from Real Vegas for sure that the HOH comp is currently on pause because a prop broke. Like, it just keeps getting crazy.
Yeah, because I saw something like the when they started it on TV, it was a false start. And they had to like reset and explain everything better. Yeah, so this one just seems kind of like a mess.
All right, so. Moving forward, so Brett has the veto. There is kind of one segment I want to touch on here. We start to get the emergings of another showmance in the house. I don't really know quite how to pronounce it. Tangela? Tyler.
Keep it.
I just want to say, I know, Jason, I'll make this really quick. These are my first 2 people I picked on the draft, and they're still here. I can't believe, like... If one of them wins, like, oh my God, but I'm really, I know a lot of people have like turned on Tyler recently, but I am still like full steam ahead. But on that question, I do kind of want to ask you this, Jason. Who do you think of these people still remaining in the house would be the best winners? Who do you think has been playing the best so far and you would love to see as the winner?
Who do I want to see as the winner, or who do I think is playing the best and probably should/will win?
Both.
I would love to see a Haley Rockstar Final 2. I would love that. However, I think at this point, I don't know. I think that the final 3, I think that 2 of them really might be JC and Sam. And I think that we could possibly get a Tyler, possibly get a Brett in the final 3. I don't know. Maybe Casey.
I'm going to say
I think that JC and or Sam will be in the final 3, though. One of them.
I'm going to say that I think that the winner at this point, with like the exception of Fessy, Sam, and kind of Casey, I would be okay with any of them winning, honestly. Like this is like a strong cast.
If Angela wins this season, we are going to have a problem. I can promise you that.
Here's the scenarios. The final 3 is Angela, Tyler, and Sam. Angela wins the final HOH. Reverse Netta cuts Tyler, and now the final 2 is Angela and Sam. What do you make of that?
I want Sam. I am all Sam. Sam all day. Sam I am. Sam somewhere. Sam. Samantha. The welder. I want Angela to lose badly. She reminds me a little bit of Olivia from Big Brother Canada. I don't know. Do you remember her? Mm-hmm. She reminds me a little bit of her, like the Ice Queen. Like, yeah. I kind of love her, she's not afraid of being like a really stone cold person, and I kind of admire like in like the Disney characters. I always a little admire the people who are just so evil and they like they're just like, what are you gonna do? In the diary room, like I hate these people. Yeah, I don't like them.
You know, I guess we just have different tastes, but that's just me.
Haley Rockstar for final 2.
Yes. So Fessy eventually, the story kind of comes out because Sam, all of a sudden, it's week 8 we're up to. Sam decides she wants to be a player, and she decides that she wants Scotty to stay. And so she has a master plan. Jason, We're going to forget Dr. Will. We're going to forget Dan. Sam has a master plan, and she's going to make this work. She goes up to Fessy, and she says, Fessy,
you are going to put your closest, the person you are closest to in this house that has had your back the entire game.
Put up
on the chopping block this week.
Put up Haley, and I'll quit smoking. What was that?
You know what? My forever mood is when the two of them were hugging, and Fessel just looks right in the camera like. And then they're walking inside the house, and he's like, "What?" He was just like, that's just how I feel about that. He was like, "What the fuck?"
And this plan does not work. But I honestly would have been surprised. Wouldn't have been surprised if it had, because of just how Fessy had been going this entire week. And we also get some gameplay from Scotty, because Scotty is a super fan. He's not going to go down without a fight. Tell me a little bit about what his plan was to stay.
Well, he decided that he was going to talk to Fessy and be like, yeah, put up Haley. But then he realized how stupid that was and was like, no, don't put up Haley. Sam's got to go. Bye, Sam. See you later, Sam. Bye, Sam. And then he tells Julie that his plan was to get Sam to tell Fessy to put up Haley so that Fessy thinks that Sam is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and puts her up. And if that just didn't hurt my brain, I don't know what did. But you know what? It is what it is. None of it worked. He ended up putting up Casey the Clown. And, yeah.
One of the things that the narratives that the show kind of pushed, which I feel was entirely different from the feeds, was Haley during this week. Because Fessy, he decides he's going to go with Scotty as the nominee. And honestly, like, all right, Jason, we could kind of expect this level of intelligence from Fessy, but I was a little bit expecting Haley to like have like a moment of clarity and go, wait a minute, no, what are we doing? Like this is all wrong. But she actually kind of goes along with the plan, does she, Jason?
Well, I think that once she found out that Scotty had basically betrayed her, she was just like, all right, nope, this boy can go. See you later, bye.
Yeah, I mean, she should have, like, something should have clicked in her to say, like, no, this isn't how it should be. But she kind of went along with it, and the show kind of portrayed it like the opposite, that she was against it. But that's just something, like, to finally, like, to touch on that I feel is important. So I guess that kind of brings us to the episode that happened tonight, and we see the first unanimous vote of the season. Scotty is evicted. Everyone votes against him, but don't worry, because Jason, he has the chance to come back in the battle back.
We're a windshield wiper now.
That's the Sam
jazz
thing.
hands. Jazz hands.
How would you feel about Scotty potentially returning to the game?
I'm fine with any of the first three coming back. If somebody from level 6 gets evicted this week and
I don't see
comes
it
back.
I'm going to be honest. I don't see a scenario at all where a level 6 member goes home this week, because if any of them win, they're going for Haley and Fessy. If JC a little.
If Haley wins.
No, if Haley wins, she said they're going for Sam. Because she's apparently a mastermind.
Are you kidding me?
Nope, that's what I was just reading that before, that if they win, don't worry, Jason, they made a deal with Tyler and Angela, and they're going to work together to get out, because Jason,
good.
Sam is the mastermind of the season.
Fantastic. Oh, bless up. So, yeah, I'm cool with any of the first three coming back. You know what? I hope Fessy goes home this week. I'm just going to say it. I'm ready for him to go.
The chance. I kind of, honestly, if I'm a level, I'm not a fan of the Hive members. I'm more team level 6. But if I am a fan of the Hive, I honestly would probably want Angie Rockstar to return, because I feel like she has.
That's who I want. That's like that is my ideal scenario. Rockstar return. Yes, ma'am. Yes. At this point, I think I'm kind of like, okay, Rockstar is number 1, and then the other 2 are number 2, and then whoever goes this week is number 3, because I'm over all of them.
Yep, and that kind of brings us to this HOH competition where it is. We left the episode with it where they kind of these plastic like a ball pit. The balls are all like some of them have tokens in them. You could take them and roll them down this little aisle, and there's a hole, and you want to get it in the hole. Jason,
now, somebody go kick JC in the face at a competition. JC's gonna get kicked right in the face.
Poor JC, but I just want to say, like, this week, JC was like the standout. This was some really magnificent gameplay. Like, I have not been the biggest fan, but at this point, I feel like him of all the masterminds in the house, it's JC and Tyler like at the top, and then like very far down is everyone else. But I'm starting to get to a point where I would be okay with either of them winning. I mean, JC seems like a little crazy, but he's one of the best players this season, which is kind of crazy.
Do I have a sec?
Go for it.
JC's doing fantastic. He's great. You know, he is strategic. He has been making moves. Fantastic. I want him gone ASAP. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so tired of JC, and let me tell you why. Anytime that a house guest is evicted, I'm not understanding why he has to stand in the door and jump up and down. I'm not understanding that concept. Number one. Number two, my battery is dying, so I'm going to say this quickly. Number two, I'm at 10%, so I'm fine. But, like, anyway. Number two, I'm not understanding why when we go in the diary room, he got to give a shout-out to something every week. I don't need to hear about how we need to take care of our veterans in the diary room.
Please support your pets.
I'm not needing to hear that in the diary room. I'm not needing to hear shout-outs to the LGBTQ community in the diary room, though it is nice. Is that really the time to do that? No. Is that the time to give a shout-out to your family? No. And every house guest is guilty of that one, which that irritates the hell out of me, but it is what it is. And then that whole situation with Bailey, I don't think I was there that week when that happened, but the situation with Bailey where he said the N-word, no. That was not okay with me. I'm sorry, no. So no, I'm ready for him to go.
The only pass I'm ever willing to give someone who is going to give a shout out in the diary room is to say Helen was pushed. If you say that,
or Mariah is skinny, you can say that. I'm fine, but I do not appreciate the diary room shout outs. I do not appreciate you stealing the person who you just evicted. You stealing their last moment to jump up and down in the doorway. That gets on my nerves. Oh, that gets on my nerves. I wish they would tell them to stop doing that. I wish production. The only time I would be cool with production just like intervening blatantly is just to tell them to stop doing that and to stop doing diary room shout outs, please. Because that really irritates me.
All right. Final last few questions. Yay or nay, Jason? Will Scotty potentially return in a future season as a returnee?
Wouldn't surprise me. I can see a lot of people from this season returning.
Yeah, I totally. Which basically just means absolutely none of them will return because I'm still waiting for Johnny Mac and Vanessa and basically everyone from season 17 because that's my favorite recent season. Everyone.
I saw a tweet online and I wish I had their username so I could give them credit, but they were talking about, like, could you imagine this cast of people on The Amazing Race that could have, like, Fessel and JC, Scotty and Steve, Tyler, and it just had, like, all pairings worked out, and it sounded, like, so fantastic, and I would literally love that. But anyway, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people from this season returned.
Who's your top picks?
I think Caitlyn will definitely return at some point.
I love Caitlyn.
I think Swaggy will for sure return. No, I definitely think Swaggy has a good chance of returning.
His Twitter bitterness.
I don't know. No, I think he'll come back eventually. I do.
All right.
I wouldn't surprise me to see Scotty back. It wouldn't surprise me to see. I would like to see Rachel back at some point. I did like her. I would obviously love to see Rockstar back. Listen, this season has so many people who like could come back for future seasons. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't think that there's like a set like villain this season that America hates. I think that everybody probably has like who they really like and people they dislike, with the exception maybe Caitlyn because like she was cracked. But yeah, I wouldn't surprise me.
Jason, are you saying that next year we could be getting the second summer? We could get the chance to have another Summer of Steve.
You know, I do not appreciate you putting words in my mouth. I never said those things. Yeah.
All right. Well, any final thoughts, Jason? Any last minute things you want to touch on?
You can purchase Sweetener by Ariana Grande on iTunes at this time. It is fantastic, and it will be debuting at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 200. Yes, sir, it will. And I'm seeing Beyonce this weekend, so that's going to be real fun.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And as far as this game goes, Rockstar should come back to the game. And I can't think of anything else. Helen was pushed. Mariah is skinny. You can follow me on my Twitter account at _JasonBrown21. Instagram is Jason with 2 N's, Brown with 1 N. And yeah, that's it for me, I think.
Yes, you could find me on Twitter at Adam Soapbox. You could find my 2 websites, adamsoapbox.com and adamcbblog.com. Jason, good to have this conversation with you. It's always good to have you on the show.
I am so sorry I've been so busy lately. It's just been crazy. But hopefully, with school being back, my work schedule will be a little bit more structured. And maybe, I'll be back.
Just as some final housekeeping notes, next week on Thursday, I'm going to be live with, it's Wednesday night. Actually, not quite sure on the date, but sometime next week I will be talking with Eric for our next episode
Eventually.
It'll happen sometime. I'll share more information on my Twitter as we figure out a final date. We're going to be talking with Eric. Then next week, we're going to be talking with you again, Jason, about the next week of Big Brother. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. To our viewers, this was fun. Hopefully you'll stick around, subscribe, do all those things. I think there's a bell, something you could do. But,
and this episode has been brought to you by the show starring Cedric the Entertainer and Max Greenfield about Grover Johnson.
Grover Johnson?
Grover Johnson.
Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you another time. Peace.